everyone, Rebecca here, and today I'm just going to do a quick and easy pour and talk to you about some ways that I save money doing this. I use pretty cheap paint. Someday I will use more if I'm ever selling a whole bunch of my art or have tons of people subscribing to my channel, but in the meantime I think you can make some really beautiful art using things that are less expensive. So the paint that I'm using right now is either from Walmart or from Michael's when they were having a big discount sale. So the colors I'm using are Craftsmart Spanish Olive. Craftsmart are all the ones I got from Michael's, and Apple Barrel I got for 50 cents each from Walmart. So that's this one. These are already mixed with Floetrol and water. I just haven't mixed them up yet. Apple Barrel Pewter Gray. Apple Barrel Cameo Pink. Apple Barrel 2 Blue. Americana, also Michael's, Spa Blue, and Craftsmart Coral. So I'm about to mix these all up. Another quick tip, once I mix, if you're using paint and not resin, mix with your stir stick and then wipe your stir stick off on a piece of paper towel and mix with your same stir stick. You don't have to keep doing it all over and over. As I'm mixing, I'll tell you a little bit about what I have going on. I'm going to put a couple drops of the lubricant into each of these. They're tiny cups, so I'm just doing 2 in each, and then I'm going to mix everything up. The box that I'm using, my husband got some music equipment in, so I cut the top off and then I just filled it with an old paint tarp, and that has really helped because when I do paint pours or when I do resin in these, I can peel it off and reuse them, so I'm not putting down paper towels or things that I have to soak through and throw away. This box I've reused and reused and reused, so I don't have to spend money on doing different types of stuff to catch all my drips every time. Every once in a while I peel the whole thing up because once I start getting a lot of layers it gets a little uneven. Right now I checked and I'm level. So I'll check that every once in a while, but I have white in here. White does not have any of the lubricant in it. It's going to be my heaviest so that my other colors pop through it. So get that mixed. And like I said, I just grab one piece of paper towel and then I can go into the next one. This is my olive. And as I've been prepping this, I've been still trying to decide if I should do a swipe or just a straight pour. Whoops. And I still haven't decided, so I have 5 more colors to mix before I have to decide. So set that to the side. This box is also great because as I get things messy, I just toss it in the corner instead of having to figure out where to set things. And then at the end, I just grab the whole messy pile. I've been doing a lot with blues and like oceany watercolors, so I really wanted to do something that had some other colors in it, and I really thought this combination with the pink and the green and everything looked really nice. So we'll see what happens. The silicone that I use is actually dimethicone. It's a personal lubricant. KY has one brand of personal lubricant that's dimethicone, and again, to save money, instead of going to an auto parts store and getting an expensive kind, I went to Walmart, and when they had stuff on sale, I just found that there. So found it and then quickly accidentally painted over the name of it so that if my kids saw it, they wouldn't ask what it was. But that's what I use, and it seems to work really well. I got that on I don't remember which one it was now, just a website online that was giving tips on doing these pours, and it said that's a good alternative if you don't want to go to an auto parts store and have to spend a lot of money on that. Alright, I'm getting there. I wanted to mix all these in front of you guys just so I could talk about the way I mix and how I add my silicone. So almost done with that. Oh, I'm excited about this color combination. Alright, almost done. One more. The next tip I'm going to use, and you guys will think this is silly, but I had done a pour a while back that I hated, And then I tried to fix it and it made it a whole lot worse, and it just kept getting worse and worse. So I let it dry and I saved it, and I knew I would use the canvas again. I think most people know, but if you don't know, you can absolutely, once your canvas is dry, you reuse it for something else as long as you kind of sand it a little flat. So you're about to see a really ugly pour that I did quite a while ago. And it's gonna be poured over a second time. So let me get these out of the way now that I've showed them to you. Another tip, and I know some people do this anyway, but I don't know if they do it to be budget conscious or not, is that if you use some of these tacks on the back to hold your piece up from the ground so that it can drip, I just find that's a lot cheaper because you can use them over and over and over instead of using every time new cups to make them level. So I try to do that when I can. Every once in a while I just feel like I need to get up higher. But for the most part I try to use thumbtacks so that I can reuse them and not waste all of my cups on that. So, okay. I think I'm going to attempt a swipe. I have actually not done a swipe yet. It's just something I've been intimidated by, but I've been watching some videos on it, so you can watch along with me and see if I accomplish it or not. So I'm going to start by getting each color on here, and I always think this is scary. Oh, I missed. Some of you guys are really good at this whole part. Getting these colors on here very nicely without making a mess. I am not. Every time I feel like I lose a lot of paint. And so if you have any tips on that, please feel free to leave in the comments, because I waste a lot of paint sometimes trying to get that figured out. All right. So I'm going to let those sit for just a second. Clean up my little corner mess here. I keep a trash bucket handy all the time so that as I'm going I can get stuff out of the way, because I find that I tend to not do that, and then all of a sudden I have all my supplies piled up everywhere and I can't get to my paint very well. So alright, I'm going to start on the end here and just swipe. I'm hoping this swipe's thick enough to cover up my color. I lost a lot of color on that one because of when I first put it down, but we'll see. You don't know until you try it, and it's all trial and error. So get what I can, back up on there, and if worse comes to worse, it's okay. It's just paint, and I don't spend a lot of money on my paint. All right, get some of that on, and then there we go. Actually, I feel like sometimes it's fun to let go of that whole idea of like, okay, I hope I do this right, I hope this turns out okay, and just, you know what, if this goes wrong, it's an awesome way to learn how to do it. So we'll see what happens. All right, next color. I'm going to try to go this direction. Ooh, push a little further. Now I am seeing some cool cells already. I'm excited about that. Pink. Oh, you guys, I got a lot of paint on this. That's okay. I'm still going to move it around some here. All right. All right, push some of it around so I've got enough. Oh, I love these colors. I'm super excited about the colors. All right. Now, the one thing that's going to drive me crazy is I am a clean freak, and I ran out of gloves doing resin, so I'm just going to get some paper towels ready because I know I'm going to want to wipe my fingers off right away. But that's okay. I'm starting with making sure I get paint all the way on this end. So I'm going to tip side to side a little just to get on my edges. Let me do another thing too here. Off my stick. I'm just going to move some of this to the edge. I've got very thick paint, so I should be able to get some of it to come just by doing this. There we go. Then I don't have to worry about getting all the way to the edge quite so much. Alright. Oh, I like the cells I'm seeing. I'm going to really let some of this go all the way off the edge down here. I've got it pretty thick. One of the tips I've seen from quite a few different people is to make sure that if you're going to, sorry, I'm concentrating. If you're going to do this, you want to err on the side of too much paint, because if you err on the side of not enough, as I did with the picture that I'm actually covering right now, it just doesn't work. It doesn't look good. It doesn't really spread the right way, and then you're stuck with just corners that look bad and things like that. So I'm coming along my edges. I got a lot of paint over the sides, so I'm mostly good. It's just this peach color down here that or my coral, I guess, that I want to make sure I'm covering all my edges before I move on to the next part of this. All right. Add a little more color there. Just get a little color on the edges. All right. Yay. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is get all these out of the way. Wet my hands because I told you it would make me crazy. Then, I don't know how I got green on this. I wasn't paying attention. I'm going to add a lot of white down here on the other end. All right. Too much paint is a lot better than not enough. So just to give you my mixture, I purchased, when there was a big sale at Hobby Lobby, I purchased squeeze bottles that were 2 for $2 on sale. They were 2 packs. And I use the squeeze bottle. It's an 8-ounce bottle. And I put my Floetrol in that. And I do 6 to 6.5 ounces of Floetrol in it. And then after that, I add 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces of water. Just to even get things a little wetter. And then from there, I do a mixture of half of that mixture and half paint. I'm not using anything sparkly or shiny or any metallics right now, but if you are going to do that, you do want to make sure that you have a little more paint than Floetrol, because those seem to thin out a little more. And times before where I haven't mixed enough paint and too much Floetrol, I end up with I just end up with a lot of the canvas showing, like not the color of the canvas showing, but the texture of the canvas showing. And I don't like that. I want it to be a really smooth surface. I'm a resin artist, and so I definitely, even with this, if this turns out well, will cover, it will cover this with resin when it's done to give it a good finish. But one of the other saving money tips is that resin is really expensive. So if I'm doing a pour like this, I would much rather do it with paints themselves. And then if they turn out great, cover them with resin rather than do all of this in resin and then have it not work out. I've spent a lot more money than if I do it with paint. So, all right, I'm going to have all this go this way for a second. Just a little bit. I want to get it a little thicker. Ooh, that gray is really going. That's okay. All right. Clean off my fingers. And then I'm going to take this paper towel and we'll see what happens, you guys. I've read both reviews on doing this dry is better than wet and doing this wet is better than dry. But I'm doing it with a dry paper towel. Let it soak in for a second. Oh, you can try to see the old color. I can fix that. And now I'm just swiping all the way down, swiping the white to the rest. Oh, I like it. I can just add a little white to that top part that's showing. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is really nice. All right, let me grab a little more white and fix that top edge. You can see me mix real quick here because I did use all my white. So I don't think I need much, just a tiny bit, but oh gosh, that is beautiful. I'm super excited. Like I said, I've never tried to swipe before and it turned out great. Yay. All right. Now, obviously, as you saw me do this, half and half here, if you're using another canvas, that can show through. Sometimes I will just hit it with like a solid white spray paint real quick first, just so none of that shows through. I didn't this time because I knew I was doing thick paint, but I wasn't sure I was doing a swipe. So obviously with a swipe, I took a little color off the edge. So that's something I will make a note of to myself, and you can learn from my mistake instead of making your own, that you got to really cover that. So I will cover that little bit back up with some paint. I'll just move it around with my stick. And then I'm going to hit this all with the torch and see. I got some really nice big cells coming up, but I'll see if I get any smaller ones to pop up with my torch. If you're new to this, the torch pops your bubbles for you. So if you have any air bubbles in your paint, it very quickly and easily gets rid of those. The only thing you really have to watch is that it also will set your paint on fire if you get it really hot. So there's a really good balance. You got to do it quick so that you don't set your painting on fire, because that's really a bummer. I've done it before. Not going to burn your house down or anything, but you're sure going to ruin your painting, and it's no fun when you've worked hard on it to have that happen. So you really want to watch it, but you definitely want to do it, because if you don't, it'll dry. Potentially it could dry with a lot of like air bubbles in your paint that you just don't want. Well, not when you've worked so hard on your painting. So, all right. There, now it's looking good. So those spots of paint are going to lay down as I torch it. Okay. All right, I'm going to make sure I'm coated on the edges again. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. I'm so excited. All right, I'm going to hit this with my torch. We'll see if any other cells pop up. If you're new to this also, and you heard me mention the dimethicone, that dimethicone or silicone is what is responsible for making all these little beautiful cells. When I'm finished doing all this, you guys, I'll zoom in with the camera so you can see exactly what's happening. But I'm going to really get this nice and hot. Not too hot to light it on fire, but close enough to make sure if any little cells want to pop through, I'm giving them a chance, because this is pretty, you guys. I'm really excited about it. I love it. Alright, cool. Okay, so just a couple little spots here. I'm going to take my finger. Ooh, make sure the paint on my finger is dry. Take my finger and just even out a little more of this white. Just touching it so that the paint runs into it. Now, if you end up with any spots that seem like they're even the tiniest bit not as covered as you want them to be, but they're covering the canvas, they're just dips and things like that. When you go back and put your resin coat on, and I very carefully have this leveled and everything like that, that will take care of any dips and bumps in your paint. Just making sure I've got white here. Using my finger to paint white onto all my edges so I don't have any spots that are either empty or showing that old paint picture that I had on there. Alright, let's turn this a second, or turn myself so I can see the edge that's not showing. Oh, that's pretty covered. Just get a couple of spots here. Alright. Oh, I'm very excited about this one. Let me hit it one more time just up in the white and see if there are any other little spots of color that are going to come through. And yep, I'm seeing a few. Again, it's just that mix of how much do I want to get it hot enough that those little cells pop through, and how much do I want to make sure I don't burn any of my paint. So, got a few more coming out. A couple on the bottom here too. Alright, so let me grab the camera here and zoom in a little so you guys can see. I'm very short. I have to stand up and actually grab my camera off of the tripod. Okay, so let me come down here real quick and show you all the finished product. I'll zoom in close here and then I'll show you the whole thing. Aren't those cells cool? I love how the white broke everything up and then how in the pink that gray is breaking up the color. Ah, it's super cool. And I'm really happy with the color choice, actually. These aren't colors I typically choose, but like I said, I've been doing the same colors for so long. I wanted to try something new. So zooming out a little bit, there is my picture. Cool. So I'm not sure if you guys will see it or not, but I will definitely cover this one with resin. I'll do a tutorial on that. Maybe I'll use this one for it. So thank you for watching. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to my channel or hit the like button or please share it. And keep following me for more tips on how to save money while making art. Thank you.